Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Thursday, August 3rd. We're going to take a look at Tupperware Brand today. Now, the chart holding up really well. We will come back to the chart at the end of the video just for a quick review. But, I mean, if you see these levels that we've had in, these are holding up really strongly. Floor, where we'd expect to be looking for a floor. Floor again, resistance just above it. So really nice look on the chart. But let's go to the data. First, I want to look at the analyst as Webull has it, because there is discrepancy in data out there, which always makes it kind of frustrating. Hold based on one analyst. Current price $3.52, $4 price target again on that one analyst rating. So we'll see what that sort of means. But if we flip over here, hold also here, but they have a 550 price target. So quite different. So there's already a discrepancy. Now this short interest, we'll click into it and take a closer look in a little bit, but that's really high if that's correct. 27%. I consider double digits to be high, so 10%. This is almost triple that. Like that's wild. So if we get into our insider trades, let's start there, just going kind of left to right. Oh boy. Never miss an opportunity to market something. So insider ownership percentage just over 2%, so keep that in mind. Buying and no selling, interesting. Just over $1 million in buys as the last 12 months. Institutions making up, oh boy, 65+% of the ownership, so obviously much more critical piece there. 75 buyers with 58 sellers, but the sales, the outflows, overcoming the inflows in the last 12 months. So certainly that putting some downward pressure on the price of the stock. The short interest, goodness gracious, market beat. So like we said, 27%. That's a lot. And if we come down here and just sort of see, I mean, it's been ridiculously high in the past. 92 million back at February of 2022. So even today, it's just sitting at 6 million, it says, but that's still such a high percentage of the float. And we see here uptick as of the last reporting date. I would expect us to get the 731 data relatively soon. I'm not quite sure what the delay is or how much longer it's going to be delayed, but we do see periods before with much higher upticks, and I'm wondering if we're going to see another one of that either on the 731 or 815 reporting dates because of the surge in price or the attempted surge in price that we saw, but these are very, very high increases, especially if we see that for an already highly shorted stock. But certainly 27%, I would expect that to be putting quite a bit of pressure on the price of the stock. Now, looking at iBorrowdesk, this feed, I believe, is from Interactive Brokers. The fee is nice and high. So advantage there is maybe it dissuades some short sellers from wanting to borrow because it's so costly to do so. 141% earlier in the day. This is updating every 15 minutes, as you see. But you do see movement, right? So you see, what did we start the day at here? So a bunch of shares came back in overnight, and then some more came in at open, and then immediately they started to borrow some shares and short the stock, and then some came back in, and then a bunch went back out. So definitely some additional shorting coming in, and then some additional going back toward the end of the day here. But overall, what's the net here? Started the day at 9 a.m. with 95,000, ended the day at 60. So potentially there were quite a few short sellers coming in today. Again, this is just from one broker, so not sure how much that will skew it across the board, but potentially relieving that fee is so high, they're really going to need that stock to move in order to make money with the fee being so high. So let's see if that has any impact or how that sort of nets out over time. But interesting data there. Also interesting data here on the fails to deliver. You could just pause the video and read this if you're unfamiliar with fails to deliver, but quantities very, very low, generally speaking. So not a lot. I mean, you see a few upticks here, but then they get sort of squared away really quickly. Some upticks here, again, they get squared away really quickly. So, you know, some of the lower numbers that I've seen with some of the stocks that we look at on the channel. So it doesn't seem to be like there's sort of a big combo of uptick in short sell plus failed to deliver, potentially causing some weird issues going on. So that's what that looks like. Looking at the chart here, these levels just holding up really well. We have 430 to the upside. We have 385, 368. We saw action at both of those today, and then this 351, 352 level. And yeah, it's just been holding up really well. So I'm not sort of incentivized to put a bunch of additional levels in. I know we are stretching toward the bottom here. So if that continues and we fall through those levels, or that 312 level, you know, we can come in and add some levels then. But I'm a little reluctant to clutter up the chart with additional levels the time being. See where we would need to get to. Yeah, so we have, well, there's a gap here. So that, you know, that may be causing some issues. We'll have to see. 286 is in the gap, so maybe it extends down to like 282, 283, something like that. But yeah, we'll see. And there, I don't know if this gap must be filled. So maybe this one here also would have been filled, but yeah, you sort of wonder if they're gonna become repeat offenders there. Don't know, but obviously, you know, it was filled through this area relatively recently. So I don't know how it's going to hold up, or if that will come back and play an additional role in future price action with some of these sort of like really quick and flash in the pan movements. It's not shocking to see it retrace through those levels again, because some support and resistance levels accumulate, not necessarily because it was previously a gap, but just, you know, it accumulates support and resistance levels at those areas. So we'll have to see, but we can come back and at least we know we have price action to rely on from previous periods to be able to put that in on the daily. So since it's been holding up so well, you know, I'd be happy to do that, and I'm glad that those levels are there. Potentially something sort of taking shape here, just shy of $4, which probably not that surprising. $4, kind of a psychological level. So in the future, we may want to take a look at that too if the price starts to come back up. All right, folks, I hope you had a good trading day and that you finish the week off strong tomorrow. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.